back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. Today, I'm here to bring you guys another game review. And the game that we'll be reviewing today is Radiantone. Now, before we get into any of that, I have to ask you guys a huge favor. Please, if you haven't already, do subscribe and also ring that notification bell. Doing so just, it helps other people see the channel, because the bigger channel get, obviously, the more views it gets, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. What I'm trying to ask you guys here is please help the channel grow. If you haven't already subscribed, you like the content, please do subscribe. It really helps me out, and I really thank you for doing so. So without further ado, let's get into what you all came here to see, the game review. Now, Radiantone is a game that is available exclusively on Steam, which means basically you can play it on Windows or Mac. And you can pick it up on Steam for $4.99. So what is Radiantone about? Basically, this is a point-and-click adventure that is really heavily story-based. Now, I know a lot of games out there, or point-and-click adventures out there, are story-based, but this one has a really unique story that I think a lot of people are going to dig. Now, I'll just give you guys a brief summary of this game because I don't want to ruin too much that's going on in this game, because that kind of takes away from the experience. But what I will say is, this game focuses on a young man who decides one day he wants to be able to control his dreams. AKA, he wants to have lucid dreams. Now, this man trains for it and actually achieves that goal. But as with all movies and things that we see that have to do with dreams, at some point, reality and dream state become mixed. Which one is real? Which one isn't real? That is the question. And this young man finds himself trapped in that question. Now, maybe that wouldn't be so bad, except for the fact that things are after him in these dreams. So, him being stuck in these dreams isn't all fun and games. It's actually very serious and very scary for him. Now, I say scary. Yes, this game does have some scary elements to it, but by no means is it a horror game or one of those games that is going to, have 15 jump scares, going to make you scream, blah, blah, blah. It may give you eerie feelings at times, and it may even startle you at times, but by no means is this a jump scare horror game. Now, with all that in mind, let's talk about the graphics, the soundtrack, and the controls. First off, the graphics in this game are very well done. I do like them a lot. Very colorful, very pretty. But I will also be honest and say it is kind of a top-down-ish view, as you can see from the video. And that means that basically you're never going to have 100% amazing graphics when they do that. Just nice, colorful graphics, and they do live up to expectations. Now, soundtrack-wise, this game has some sound effects and soundtrack in it. But again, I have to go back to one of my favorite terms, gaming elevator music. This game has that, kind of just keeps you going, keeps you involved. At times you'll start doing something and a cool soundtrack or cool sound effect will pop up that's really awesome and adds to the game. But overall, it's just a solid soundtrack, nothing that you're going to go down the street whistling. Now, control-wise, controls in this game, as I said, point-and-click adventure. So what does that mean? You use the mouse for pretty much everything in this game. Now, at times there will be quick time events. All of those are done with the mouse. You don't even have to use the keyboard in this game, just the mouse. So now let's talk about the gameplay. As with most point-and-click adventures, you will have to find certain things, and you will have quick time events that you have to perform, and you will have basically, at times, certain things that you do have to do. So, for example, at one point in the game, you'll be asked to find a key. You have to walk all around this house, search the correct things, and finally you will find the key. But those are the kind of things you can expect from Radiantone. It's just kind of a standard point-and-click adventure. It's really more about telling the story than it is about the gameplay mechanics in itself. Now, granted, the quick time events that it has are pretty cool sometimes. But, again, if you're looking for, Zelda-type gameplay, it's not going to happen in this one. So I know, short, but let's talk about the cons now. And actually, that is my first con. This game is short. Granted, it only costs $4.99, so you can't expect a lot here, but this game is rather short. And by short, I mean you could probably beat this in an hour or maybe two at tops. So you could probably beat it even shorter than that if you really focused on it and figured out everything. This game is pretty dang short. So that has to be a con, and we're going to have to take that into account as on the score. Now, the final con in this game is the replayability. There's not much here. Once you beat it, you're not probably ever going to play it again because there's no alternate paths or anything like that. It's just, here's the story, you finished it, you're done. So, not good replayability at all from this game. So with all that in mind, really all that's left to ask is, what is this game going to get on our Mumbles review? Now, Radiant Ones is a really cool game and a really cool point-and-click adventure. In fact, I would go so far as to say it is one of the most interesting ones I have played in quite some time. But it does suffer from some things such as length and replayability. So, all these things I have to take into effect, as well as the price. $4.99 for a shorter game isn't a bad price. Should it be a little cheaper? Maybe. So, by taking all this into account, I'm going to give Radiant Ones today a 7 out of 10. I really do like the story of this game. I like anything that has to do with dream-type states. That's what really drew me to this game. And this game does a great job of kind of bending your mind, making you think about things, making things... It's just a great story-driven game. But again, I wish it was longer. And I wish it had better replayability. If it had some alternate paths you could take, that would really improve the game. That could make it easily an 8, in my opinion. Still, 7 out of 10 for $4.99 is not bad. Definitely, if you like these kind of games, check this one out. You will not be disappointed. Anyways, guys, this has been my review of Radiant One. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Please smack that subscribe button, smack that like button, smack all those buttons. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.